Hello, welcome back to the Waffle Press movie podcast thing. My name's Diego Crespo, and it's 100 degrees in California at the time of this recording. So if I die during this, then you know why. If I just fall over dead, then it's because of the heat. This isn't that light is not coming from a lamp. That's just coming from the sun. But again, my name's Diego Crespo. I'm your host, and we're talking about sci-fi movies in August because Fantastic Four, and that was a bad thing. But
Terrible.
this movie is
terrible.
not a bad thing. And you know what else is not bad? Having my friend Andy from the Movie Hero Show here. Andy, what's up, man?
Not a lot. I'm super excited to talk about The Fifth Element. I love this movie. Are we allowed to swear on this one?
Yeah, you're allowed to swear. Fuck it. Go for
Okay,
it,
yeah,
man.
I fucking love this movie. Yeah, words can't express how much I love this movie.
Yeah, all right. Well, let's just dive right into it. Yeah, because we're talking about The Fifth Element here today because I have a more negative history with it. So I'll get my negativity out of the way.
Sounds
I
good.
want to focus on the positive for a lot of it because I'm positive on it now. But when I first saw it in high school,
Yeah,
I thought this was one of the biggest garbage piles I'd ever seen. I thought it was just horrendous.
like one of the garbage piles at the airport.
Yes, like one of those.
That's
And
why it was there, right?
yeah, I mean, it was like I thought it was okay at some times, but I thought everything was too over the top and flamboyant, and I was like, ugh, this is dumb. I want my movies realistic and stuff, and I was boring. That's what I was. I was fucking boring.
We all were
now,
boring at one point.
yeah, because now this movie's fucking awesome. It is so much fun. Why don't you go ahead and tell me about the first time you saw this movie or your first experiences with it?
My first time watching it, I remember I was at my grandma and grandpa's house and I was flipping through like HBO, Cinemax, whatever channel it was on. And I'm like, oh, Bruce Willis, I like that guy. And I'm just like checking this out. And then I'm like, wait, what is going on? Like it was like halfway through and I'm like, what the hell is going on? Why is this chick just doing all this crazy stuff? Wait, what? Why is that guy bleeding from his forehead? What are these mongoloid looking things? Just like, what is going on? And then like I instantly just like flipped in, looked to see when it was next playing. It was like the next day, so I went and made sure to like set it up a reminder. I watched it. I had a blast with it. It's just filled with so much electricity and like it's just so much fun. So many great performances that are from so many different actors that you can recognize from other things. And these like Chris Tucker, like. Come on, that's just so perfect. I love this movie.
This is the best Chris Tucker role ever. Anyone who says Rush Hour, you just don't know Chris Tucker. But this is his best, I think.
Yeah, it's so awesome when he's just like he's trying to get Corbin to like talk about like why he's like how he's feeling about being up in the big world, and he's like fine. And and then at the end he's like, next time we talk, can you have more than a 2-word vocabulary? And he's like buzzing people away and stuff. It's so funny. So
yeah,
good.
this movie's freaking nuts, and more people should watch it because I'm kind of surprised how many people haven't watched it. And it was a big hit when it came out, or at least a hit, if not the big one.
Yeah.
So that makes me actually happy because I feel like this movie now would be like Dread, where it's like fist pumpingly awesome, but nobody would go watch it.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like I felt like it's like one of those things where like I found something that no one I knew had seen. And it was like one of those things where I'm like, no, check this out. It's really good. I'm like, nah, it doesn't look that good, blah, 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 stuff. So I felt like I was like kind of on the inside of something. Like, oh, dude, you guys don't understand like how cool this is. And you will one day when you wise up. And that was another thing, a reason why I loved it growing up is like I just felt like it was mine because like no one else that I knew besides the people I'd shown it like had seen it, and like a lot of them didn't really get it when I did show it to them. So, and I'm like, you're just dumb. Just stop. Yeah, I don't know why you don't like this movie.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, it's still like we said, it's a super awesome, fun time roller coaster movie. It's got a good ensemble going on with it, but it feels like it has a lot of heart, and I think some Luc Besson movies don't really have that. I actually like Lucy. I know, I'm like weird. I'm a handful of people that like Lucy.
I was like average on that. I didn't really love it, but I didn't hate it.
Yeah, I liked it more when I rewatched it, and I was like, oh, okay. I had a little bit of fun with it, and I it's super dumb, really, really dumb. Like Fifth Element, it kind of plays dumb with how ridiculous it gets, but that is not a dumb movie at all.
Not at all.
Yeah, and something like Lucy is like your brain's dead afterwards. But I think there's some good stuff going on in that movie. Obviously, Fifth Element, there's a lot more. Are you a fan of Luc Besson's other stuff? I mean, his directing stuff, because his writing is like all over the place.
Yeah, his writing is all over the place. Actually, this was the first movie that introduced me to him. I saw this before I even saw The Professional, anything, or La Femme Nikita, anything like that. And it kind of opened my eyes to, like, I think that I sought out The Professional after, like, people were like, oh, it's the guy that did Fifth Element. I'm like, okay, I need to find this movie then. And I really like that movie, but Fifth Element is just a whole nother animal of just like so much fun. Like The Professional is an awesome action movie, just like serious, you know, takes everything seriously, but like this is just like so flamboyantly awesome. I just love it. But yeah, lately, like I was really excited when I heard about The Family, especially with the cast and everything. That kind of left me a little disappointed. It was decent, but like a little disappointed. And same with Lucy. So I just hope they can turn around and pull another Fifth Element out of his butt or something.
Yeah, I think he's doing a new sci-fi movie with Dane DeHaan.
Oh, really?
And someone else, and I can't remember, but maybe he'll go back to his Fifth Element roots. Where one thing I really appreciate about the Fifth Element is how the science fiction is usually like it doesn't affect the world, or it completely affects the world, and it shows humankind as being like broken because of upgrading in technology and such. And the Fifth Element kind of it doesn't have either or. It's right in the middle where it's like humankind has just grown alongside with technology. Like there are pros and cons to it. Like it's not a big part of the movie, but I always really, even when I didn't like the movie the first time, I thought that was an interesting concept. Like, no, it just, you know, you just adapt because that's what happened. Like if we went back 300 years right now and people saw what we were doing with technology, they think it'd like control our lives. And maybe they're right because
to an extent,
yeah, to an extent. But at the same time, you know, for the most part, functioning society with technology and all that jazz. And I just think that's such a cool thing.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. All right, and I love Gary Oldman. I mean, everyone loves Gary Oldman, but he's so good as this villain, this Southern-speaking dude. Well, his accent, I'm never quite sure if it's really good or really bad, but I love it. It's so hammy, and like the cheese. If on the scale of cinematic cheese, this is like oozing nacho spicy cheese. You know?
Yeah, totally. He's so awesome in this, and like so menacing, and like you hate him, but then he's like so cool about stuff because like the way he plays it is just perfect. Because he's like at some points he's like terrifying, and then he just like turns around and like does something really weird, and you're just like, that's awesome. Like when he's like like selling the guns and stuff, and then he's like nope, you don't get any of this, and then he ends up giving him a case, and he's like, after he like shows them, he's like having so much fun showing them all the stuff with the gun. And it's like kind of like, oh, this guy's like not someone to mess with, or like this guy's like having fun. I mean, and then at the end, he's like, any real killer, I mean, stone cold killer would ask the first question, what does the red button do on the bottom of the gun? And then all of a sudden, just like blows up the room. It's just like, it's just so funny. And then like when he's like gets the stones, or he gets the box, and he walks in, he's like, he opens it and starts laughing so hard that he starts crying because he realizes like they're not here. It's just so funny.
It's so good. I mean, this is a movie that has a super long shelf life. I think more and more people discover it as they go on too, because I haven't actually showed it to anybody, but I know people who watch it over time, and they haven't seen it when they were younger either. Now it's like growing and growing in its fan base, and rightly so. I mean, yeah, all the acting is really fun, and the direction is whimsical, but at the same time like restrained. Like it's never too crazy. You know, not like a Gremlins 2, which I love, but you know, that's balls to
awesome
balls insanity.
Yeah, so good. Did you watch that Key and Peele skit of like how the writers' room for it?
Yes, I'm 100% sure that's a fact. I'm like, there's no doubt in my mind that that's actually what happened. For anyone who hasn't seen the Gremlins 2 skit on Key and Peele, watch it because it makes sense. It makes perfect sense.
It is so awesome. But for Fifth Element, like it's just so awesomely electric, and like there's so much life in it, and it's just so much fun. I don't even know how someone could like not have fun with this movie from some point of view or another. And another thing that I really find really unique about the movie is like obviously Bruce Willis's character is like the hero, and Gary Oldman's character is the main villain. They are never on screen together. They're never in the same room. They never actually directly contact each other. And it's still like, I just think that's really unique, because like that obviously there's always like that showdown. Like there was a showdown of like sorts that makes sense for the movie, but like the main guy that you're following as the bad guy like never confronts the hero or vice versa directly. And it's just, I think that's really cool.
Yeah, and I think a lot of movies should take risks like that, like Wrath of Khan, Star Trek Wrath of Khan, which I talked about last week with Sean Fallon.
Yeah.
Those two characters never meet. The actors were never in the same room together, but they see each other on screen.
Yeah.
At least, you know? And so it's really similar to this. Like they basically, if you have a science fiction action adventure movie and your hero and villain never meet on screen, maybe there's a formula and that makes your movie good. Or at least really good. Yeah.
It's totally possible.
Yeah. Another thing I like in the movie so much is the world building and how vibrant everything is. Like it's the opposite of Blade Runner, where Blade Runner everything's all blue and like dark neon. And Blade Runner is my favorite science fiction movie, so it's not a knock on that. It's just a polar opposite to that. Yeah,
totally.
Blade Runner's like smoking cigarettes and like man, life and replicants. Is life even real? Am I a replicant? And then Fifth Element's just like bum, 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 bum.
Yeah, it's like space opera, like chaos, it like creates order, like it's
a literal
chaos.
Opera in space.
Exactly. Like it's just so much going on, and like like you said, the world building. Like I would say, like the world building in that is better than 99% of the world building in so many other movies that have come, like just movies in general that come out. Like I would say the like the way that we talk about the world building in John Wick is like equivalent to Fifth Element. Like that's what people should be praising about Fifth Element too, is the world building as much as they were for John Wick, because like it's like it doesn't even matter if they did a sequel, if they follow the same characters, as long as they have the same world and keep building it, then it would be worth the effort of making it, and people would still love it.
Oh man, that's so true. Is there anything else you want to toss out about Fifth Element really quick before we move on to our question segment?
Nothing pops out right now. It's just such a great cast, world building, so much energy and fun. It's just, if you haven't seen it, just go watch it. Go find it. It's not on Netflix anymore, sadly, but just go find it. It's worth your money.
It really is. Fifth Element is a blast from start to finish. At the very least, if you don't like it as much as we do, you will not be bored. There you go. That's the worst compliment I can give it, but you will not be bored watching this movie. If you're bored watching this movie, I will be interested in your take on it. So you should let us know in that case, you know, because I've never met someone who's actually bored by the movie.
Yeah, it's so much fun. And one thing I just thought of, I'm not a huge Mila Jovovich fan. Like I think that she's fine and she's like does good action and stuff, but I actually like her in this movie as Lilu. Like it's serviced, like obviously she, like that was probably a time when she wasn't, like she was just starting out acting, and like I don't think that she had like that much going for it, and like it was serviceable because it was such a simplistic character and it just really worked. That's like, I think this is the only role that I really, really like her in. Everything else is just she's there. Like she doesn't draw me into a movie at all.
Dazed and confused. I will say dazed and confused.
But she's fine in that, but she's like such a minor role. Like I forgot that she was even in that until you just said that. But yeah, it's like she's actually pretty good in it, and that's one of the few that I actually really like her in. So yeah.
All right, well that has been Fifth Element, and now I move on to a fun little question segment. 3 rapid fire questions. Andy, I will not time you, but also don't take long. So not too rapid, but also just Andy has not been prepped for these questions in any way.
I have no idea. He just said that there were going to be 3 and didn't go into any detail. Yeah,
so I just like to see people's responses to these. They're similar to ones I've done before, with both Sean's for Cool or Silent Runnings and Wrath of Khan. So you saw those, and you kind of have an idea what this would be. Andy, my friend, if you could have any other Bruce Willis character in the role of Corbin Dallas for this movie, who would it be and why?
If I could take any Bruce Willis character and put him into Fifth Element.
Yes. As for just replace Corbin Dallas with any other Bruce Willis character.
The first thing that pops into my mind is the first one that popped in my mind, I don't know why, was Pulp Fiction. Just like a boxer, you know? That would be like really weird. I don't know how that would because he's like obviously for himself, so I don't know if he would like go try to like save the world. But obviously there's a lot of connection between Corbin and John McClane, because obviously they feel like a sense of like trying to help people. So I feel like that would be like a lot of the same. I think the same with Armageddon. I don't even know. This is so trying to think of roles that he's in. God. This is so difficult.
That's all right. The correct answer was John McClane. So you kind of had it, but yes.
Yeah, because it'd be like the same. It would be a lot of the same stuff actually, but like throwing a Yippee-Ki-Yay into Fifth Element, that would just be like so awesome. Because like as soon as he like stands her up, Yippee-Ki-Yay, I like just take it out, you know?
Yeah, that works perfectly. I mean, that's the vibe of the movie, just big old fashioned fun.
Yeah, exactly. That would be the perfect Bruce Willis turnover.
Yeah. All right. Question number 2. What other actor besides Gary Oldman do you think could play Zorg?
Can play Zorg. Someone that's crazy.
They got to be crazy. They got to have a really cheesy accent. They have to be scary and comedic at the same time.
I don't know why. This is going to be like so off the wall random, but I really want to see Benicio del Toro do some crazy stuff. Like him just go off the walls crazy. Like I thought that he would be a good Joker after Wolfman, because off of his laugh when he's like in the restrainments and stuff like that, when they're like whatever, and just off his laugh and like all that, I just wanted to see him like do something and balls out crazy. I think that his accent would be a little weird for it too, and I think he could just be like a kooky Zorg. That'd be cool.
That's a really good one. I'd never even thought. I don't know how an answer for that question.
Yeah.
I just came up with it. I had no idea.
That's
awesome.
Awesome.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Okay. And then final question, unless you have any final thoughts on the Fifth Element really quick.
No, just go see it.
Yeah, just
experience it.
Yeah, experience it. Okay. A Fifth Element sequel is in the hypothetical making. Hypothetical.
Yes.
Who do you get to write and who do you get to star? And direct. Sorry. Write, star, direct, not Bruce Willis, because nobody wants to work with Bruce Willis anymore.
Just because it's his world, I want Luke on there, like for at least writing. There's a whole onslaught of directors I think that could do a great job.
All right, go 3 really quick. Go
3. Let's go with Ryan Johnson. I think that would be really cool. Trying to think of people that like are like big scope, but they can't but they're not too serious. Colin Trevorrow, obviously Jurassic World, and do you think Joss Whedon would make it too Joss Whedon-y?
I think this is the perfect thing to make Joss Whedon-y though.
Well, that's the thing, yeah, because it has like a strong like female like lead or like hero and stuff. So yeah, I think that he would have a good touch on it too. Like yeah, that'd be really cool. Any of those 3, I would think I would be really excited for that sequel, and then have Luke like writing or like be a part of the writing process at least.
All right, but who stars?
Who stars?
You can bring back the rest of the cast. You just can't have Bruce Willis, basically.
I can't have Bruce Willis.
Nobody wants to work with him anymore, so.
Chris Pratt is too much of a cliche right now.
Thank you. I mean, we all love Chris Pratt, but let's get somebody else in the mix.
I like Tom Hardy, but that's just because I'm so excited for Mad Max, I think, right now. Tom Hardy would be
so.
Yeah. No one's popping out to my mind right now for that. Besides those two. Yeah. I would have to go with one of those two, I guess.
All right, that's fine. They're good choices, to be fair. I mean, Chris Pratt's like up for everything, but he's good, so it works. Yeah. It's fine. All right, well, thank you so much, Andy, for joining me on this segment. Let's talk about movies. Talking about Fifth Element. Where can people find you?
You can follow me on Twitter at the Talking Can. Obviously, like Diego said earlier, we do a little show called the Movie Hero Show. Check that out, and we have a lot of fun with that, hanging out in directors' basements and talking about Alien 3, and it's good times. Definitely follow that. And then, like I said, Twitter at the Talking Can. Yeah,
and we also do a little show called Real Film Chatter, and we'll be talking about real film TV or real TV soon. Oops, I screwed that up. And that's a whole bunch of fun with our buddy Patrick Campbell. And we're going to get a whole bunch of stuff going over there. And then, check out a bunch of other podcasts we do here on Waffle Press. Like, subscribe if you enjoyed this conversation. Check out other conversations I've had in the playlist down below. And this week, I will be doing a series finale review of Hannibal with Emily Sophia. So keep a lookout for that, because we're just going to get drunk and cry a lot, basically. Thank you so much for joining me, Andy. It's been a whole lot of fun. And I'll talk to you like Monday then when we do the Movie Hero Show. Which
Sounds
Andy
good.
tweetcasts, so make sure to follow him for that, definitely.
It's a lot of fun. A lot of behind-the-scenes stuff that you get early before you get to actually listen to it, and you can interact with me, and then sometimes that gets on the podcast, too.
Yeah, it's a whole lot of fun. So thank you for watching, guys. We have been Professionally Unprofessional.